I hope you are doing well. I'm a bit cold, so I got like double jumpers on here tonight for beading. It's really turned cold outside. So I do love, I hope they say we might get some snow on Friday, so I'm quite excited about that. I know a lot of people don't like snow, but I'm just like a little kid. And anytime snow mentioned, I'm like so excited. So what we're gonna do tonight is we started this bauble last week. Now then oh, she got caught on the other beads. Then I went and sort of looked around the warehouse what we can put on there and rethought it a little bit. So there is a couple of middle bands are done. So I think we're going to concentrate on the top and on the bottom. And we got a couple of different options what we can put on there. We can either stay with crystals or we can use some pearls. I am quite excited to use some pearls at the bottom. Good evening, Debbie. Good evening, Jenny. It's nice to see you here. So I am gonna go and grab the beads out, and then we can get started with this. Upon examining, I didn't really like that the top part was a little bit gappy. So I think we need to come down more from the top because we came out of every 10th bead. I think we're going to have to come out every 5th bead. So we got more strands coming down on the top. But do let me know in the chat what you think. I just think if you had an extra line coming down and we were connecting to every single one of the sort of little units, perhaps, it would cover a little bit more. I just think the top part of it just sort of quite a bit naked, and then if you go and add sort of a fringe to almost every single bottom part, then it's definitely the top part is going to look like a little bit too naked. So I am going to suggest that we change the top as well. So let me just grab these beads out. So I played around with this one and made the middle band up, so we are sort of that far ahead. So we're just going to have to plan the top and then do the bottom part as well. When I finished it after that, we were looking at with Alison. She was in the warehouse on Saturday, and we had an open day. I did make a boo-boo, and one of them is missing a little 4 unit, but I turn you down and then I show you. So it even happens to the rest of us, like we all make boo-boos. Good evening, handcrafted by Liz and Misha. Good evening, David. Good evening to you. So I'll show you my boo-boo, but I'm sure you can see it, like it's right there. There's one cluster missing, and it's quite sort of on the other side. So I'm gonna have to sort of remedy it when we come. But yeah, it will be easy. We can remedy it. So if anything like that happens, it's quite easy to remedy it. So it's not a problem at all. So we did that one, and actually Alison helped me, and she made up a crystal clear one, so we could have a little play with that as well. We could have a play with both, what we can come up with. But I'm going to start with this one first. So the seed beads I'm going to need is these ones, and the options I kind of thought of is to, instead of using all crystals, I mean, it would be nice if you had all crystals on the bauble, but I do think if you mix it with pearls, it's going to look even better. And I found these these lovely little drops. So I'm thinking to putting these drops at the bottom, and then I grabbed 3mm and 4mm pearls. And you tell me which one would look nicer, sort of incorporated into the top as well. 3mm might get lost. We can have a little play with both. I think 4mm probably would be better. So we will see which one we gonna end up using. But I do like, I think if you have a crystal band in the middle, that will look really nice. And then have sort of one hanging down drop, sort of creating a skirt. And we can adjust the size of the skirt as well, so we can make it bigger or we can make it smaller as well. Now the other option I thought as I was looking at it, and just grabbed all the beads out, is to use larger crystals at the bottom. So what do we think? Do you want to go with the crystal and pearl mix, or do you want to do crystal and crystal? Do let me know in the chat that what would you like me to play with first, pearl and crystal or crystal and crystal? Do let me know which one do you want me to try first. Good evening, Gwen. Nice to see you here. Debbie, good evening. Elizabeth, good evening. I love your bubble cover last year. Can't wait to see this year's. It's all in a sort of work in progress. Like every year, you sort of just sit down and play, and then come up with something we can come up. 4mm is any bigger too much? Yes, that's the 4mm, and that's the 3mm. So I don't know. I'm gonna what I was envisioning, because we can incorporate in the top and we can incorporate in the bottom as well. So I'm just gonna cut this strand, and I'm gonna cut the 3mm as well, and then we see which one's gonna fit the best there. So one was thinking, we're gonna make our circle, and as we're coming down on our circle, we need to incorporate either a pearl, the same way how we did it here, but I think we need to do it further up, or the smaller pearl. So I could put smaller pearls on one side, and then the larger pearl, or we could use both sizes really. We could use that at the bottom, and we could use these. Let me just get this out of the way. Pearl and crystal sounds nice. Crystal and crystal, 4mm beads. I got my holiday bundle yesterday. Can't wait to get. Oh, Janice, I am looking forward to see you there. I'm quite excited about it. We could use 3mm at the top, and we could use 4mm at the bottom. Perhaps that would be perhaps using both. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see. So the skirting will go all the way around. So we could do both. Have one at the top and have one at the bottom. What do we think? Or just don't use the 3mm at all and use, I'm just going to take those out and use 4mm at the top as well. Now do let me know, what would you prefer? 3mm and 4mm, 3mm or 4mm, or 3mm and 4mm together? Which one do you want me to make? I'm going to get rid of this bigger jumper now, because it's quite long. I've warmed up a little bit. I did have the little heater, and I got like a little portable heater here, which I can I just put on for a little bit before. It's just so cold today. Right, so pearls and crystal sounds nice. Rachel is saying crystal and crystal 4mm beads. Okay, cool. So do let me know. I'm very quickly just going to work this on. Actually, I can leave the other thread on. I can leave the longer thread on and use that for the skirt. Let's not actually both of them for now. Let's start at the top. So I'm going to get my seed beads out, and I'm going to grab some thread and start stringing the beads at the top. So anything like this, you just need to count the pattern. So just to make sure, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So 40 beads, if we're coming out of every fifth, that will take us down to, yeah, that's right, that's absolutely right. So 40 beads we need to start with at the top. So I'm just gonna quickly thread this needle and put on 40 beads. Sparkle the better. Debbie is saying, I love a bit of a sparkle as well. 4mm at top and 3mm drop at the bottom. That's an interesting idea. So we could have 4mm at the top and actually put the 3mm with the drop at the bottom. That might look nice as well. What we can actually do, because I got another one of these, I'm not sure, like let me start stringing at the same time as I'm talking. We can try it with the other, because I got another skirt done. So we could try, if we got time, to both really. 5, 10. I'm just very quickly going to, but do let me know, how is your week one, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, and more importantly, have you got your Christmas decorations up yet? Natalie was there. So I was working all weekend, so I haven't quite got around to put my decorations up yet, but I think it's going to be a job for this weekend. So that's 35, 40, no, 30, 25, 30. I'm just like confusing myself with the numbers as well. This is going to be 35. I was going 3, 5. I had 3 beads on and added another 2, and I made it 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we got 40 on that. I'm just going to double check. You know me. Evening, Ruth. Right, so let's see. I usually just sort of put it down on my mat, and then you kind of, it's easy to see when you got 5 beads and just sort of push them along. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, we got 40 beads. So I'm going to go through all 40 to turn this into a circle, and then we're going to start making our way down. So I'm just going through. How many beads did we have on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 8 beads at the bottom plus that, and then that was 10 at the top. So if we do 10 at the top, then 4, then add the pearl on. Oh no, I know what we're gonna do. I got an idea. We're gonna do 4, then a small pearl, then another 4, and then we go into the dividing thing. So that's 8 plus, then use the larger pearl. I think that's gonna look good. I just had another idea. Just a small treetop, not properly decorated. Toby and Tilly are nightmare. Oh, bless you. How are they doing? I don't know how Roxy's gonna be treating the tree. Hopefully she won't take it down. But we never know. We see. It will be on a little table anyway, because I always put I'll put you on a small table. So I think we'll be fine. So, okay, let me just get these out of the way. Let's just make sure this is not twisted, because I'm going to start hooking into it. There we go. I'm going to do it that way. So we have to deal with that missing bead at the bottom, not on the top. So I'm going to pick up, what I decided I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up 4 seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pick up a 3 mil pearl. Then we're going to need to pick up 8 seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to pick up a 4 mil pearl. Then we're going to pick up 1, 2, another 4 seed. And this is going to go through the top. Just there. Then I'm going to come back on myself. I'm going to come through the 4 seed bead, the pearl, and another 4 seed bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And I'm going to pull this nice and tight. And before I go up to the top, I'm going to go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pick up another 4 seed bead, a 4 millimeter pearl, stop rolling over you, pearl, and another 4 seed bead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to go through the next top, and then we're going to make our way back up to the top. Maybe we should have done the other way around, to use the 4 mil at the top and the 3 mil there, because now the 3 mils, how close are they going to be to each other? Not too bad, I think. But definitely, what do we think? Do we need the 4 mil here and 3 mils here? Shall I change your bed before I get going completely? Because at the moment I only have to take it back a little bit, so I could change it. I think now looking at it, because all these ones at the top are going to be small ones, and these ones are going to be larger, but we're going to have more of the larger ones on there. So they might overpower the design. They'll be saying, yes, swap. Well, that's all I had to hear. I'm very quickly going to take it back and swap. I have no idea how it happened, but it don't look pretty. What don't look pretty, Janice? Yes, swap. Yes, other way around. I hope you all will be well with your cat. My girl died a few weeks ago. I'm still broken and look for her all the time. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry. Sending you big hugs and cuddles. That's just they become like a part of a family, don't they? I've been back and forth to the vets as my cat Loki has had an injury. A Christmas deck's not up yet. Oh, sending you big hugs and kisses, lovey. That's not good. We got the test results back for Sydney as well. I don't know if I said it last week. We had to have some blood tests done on her because she was supposed to be like 3.5 kilos and she was only 2.6, very light in weight, and when you pick her up you can really feel it. But she's 15 years old, and we have the blood test back and they say there's nothing wrong with her, so they wanted to do further scans, but I said we just gonna keep her in for Christmas and not let her out in the garden at all. And then we see, and she actually started to put some weight on. So, but I know how nerving is. They are our little family, aren't they? Right, so swapping those pearlies. Right, let's put this back straight. Just moving these pearls out of the way. And re-threading my needle. There it is. I don't know what I've done with my needle. So big hugs around. She was 17. I just kept crying. Sorry, it's meant to be a time to be cheery. Oh, Elizabeth, sending you big hugs and kisses. Sydney's over 15 now as well, so I know that you can imagine that for 15 years or 17 years, they become a part of your life. They wake up call in the morning and all sorts of, it's they really grow. We really do grow fond of them. And even Roxy, I only had her for, she's going to be 6 months old on Saturday. However, like she grew really close to my heart, bless her, and her little expressions and all sorts. It's just, I can imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 beads, large pearl, 8 beads, small pearl, and another 4 bead. And then we're gonna hook in the top. Then we're gonna go back. Then we're gonna go back, the 4 beads, the small pearl, and another 4 bead. And pull this up nice and tight. And we're gonna turn and pick up another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another small pearl and another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go through the next one. There we go. And now I'm gonna go all the way back to the top. Don't know how shall I hold it the best. I think I'm gonna hold onto it like this over my hand. Can zoom in a little bit more for you. Michelle is saying people don't realize how upsetting it is to lose a pet. They are definitely a member of the family. So sorry to hear that, Elizabeth, and hope Loki gets better soon, Janice. Oh, they're definitely a part of the family. It's like when I was cooking dinner and I was making this little vegetable stew yesterday, and I was because my kids, don't really eat it. And then I'm just thinking, who am I cooking for? And then I was laughing to myself because it's me and the dog. I'm cooking for me and the dog. So I'm not just cooking for myself, I'm cooking for me and the dog. Right, so I got right to the top and I'm gonna go along 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And then I'm gonna repeat this again. So I'm gonna pick up 4 seeds, 1, 2, 3, 4, a large pearl, the 4 mil pearl, 8 seeds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then a smaller pearl, and another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to hook this onto the next top, just like that. Pull this up. Let's just get this bobbin out of the way. Put it to the other side. Now I'm going to go back through the 4 seeds, the pearl, and another 4 seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, the pearl, 1, 2, 3, 4, and pick that up again. One, 2, 3, 4, a small pearl, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going through the next. If I put this bauble in it, would that be easier? I think it might make it easier to hold on to if I actually pop this onto the bauble. I think what would be really helpful, I don't know where they are, so I'm not going to go and look for it. I think they're upstairs somewhere in the little storage cubby hole I got. If you have the polystyrene ball, we could actually pin the middle pit on until we work on the top. I think that's going to look quite pretty. Right, and I'm going to go back up all the way to the top now. That's easier to hold on to. I think once we add a few more, it's actually going to stay on nicely. So I'm going all the way to the top, and then I'm going to go along 5 beads again. Perhaps, you know, I'm going to say perhaps you don't need the 4 mil pearl at the top. Maybe you need a crystal at the top. So I'm going to move along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it, and then come down again. I lost 2 cats 20 years ago. I don't think I was affected back then. Had to be strong for the kids. It was Tamsi and me, so maybe that's why I'm so devastated. The bubble cover is looking very nice. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, Mina's saying she made prawn curry. Ooh, sounds really nice. Thank you. The crystals and the purse together, it does look fine. It's a hard time. And this time of the year feels worse, absolutely. I do think, like, how I think about it is, yes, we have our pets and we love them very much, but we do give them, I think, when I sort of think about Roxy, she has such a good life that she's taken care of. She's not wanting for anything, and I think we show our love to them while they're still around, and I think, you know, we do miss them, but we do give them just as much love as we receive from them. I hope that does make sense. We do really appreciate them, but they do have, like, you know, they get old and they get hurtful, and I can see on Sydney that she doesn't jump up as much anymore as she used to jump up. She just definitely doesn't go out hunting any of the birds like she used to or anything, and yeah, it's we do miss them. Right, I'm just gonna pull this thread through. That's the other tail we have out of the way, so don't accidentally stitch on it. And I'm gonna keep on going. I think we perhaps might need a crystal instead of that pearl, but we'll see once we finish. Sometimes I judge too quickly and try to change it, and sometimes I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna go with my gut instinct. I'm gonna stick with what I was doing, and actually it turns out better. So going through the next stop. Then going to the top. Pull this nice and tight. I can't wait to do the bottom. I've got an idea for the bottom as well. Kind of will reverse these two stitchings together. This out a little bit, and when I'm at the top, I'm gonna go along another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We were making kits of this cover. Once you have it perfected up, you know me, absolutely. I'll put some bits together, not a problem. I think it's gonna look nice. Right, coming down on the next one. If I get my act together, then I've got so much stuff on. If I get my act together, we might be able to sort out this Friday, because I'm in a warehouse on Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 small pearl, and then another 4 seed bead. I think the beauty of, like, the good thing about breaking up your pattern with a bead or seed bead here and there, what happens is you do, like, when you have to count 20 seed beads, you are more likely to make a mistake and pick up 19 or 21. But if you break your pattern up, like 4 seed beads, then you have to pick on something, or you know, a pearl or a crystal or something in between, it's harder to make a mistake picking up 5 or 3. So just gonna add the other leg there. 1, 2, 3, 4, another small pearl. So it's actually good to break up. It's not just make it pretty, but it's nice to break up your pattern a little bit. Going into the next one. And then going all the way to the top. I think if you left the 4 mils on the bottom, I think it would have been too much. It would have been too big, 100%. So I think it's a good idea that we swapped them. But all these things, like, you don't know until you actually sit down and do them and play around with the beads. You don't know, like, if they're gonna work. Sometimes even I don't know if it's going to work. You just have to keep on trying. Right, I need to go along 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And I'm gonna come. I like that pattern better. If I put this one next to it, what do you think already? I know what I'm thinking. Do let me know. Do you like the new one, or would you prefer the old one? Do let me know. Asher, good evening. Sorry I'm late. This looks great. Hi to everyone. And Janice is saying, it looks very pretty. How about a crystal alternating with the pearls? Yeah, we could do that as well. We can try it. Try it. Michelle is saying, love the new one. I think I love the new one as well. The other one was too naked. We don't want naked baubles. You want to cover them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a pearl. and then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then a small pearl, and then another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna come through the next unit. Pull this. Oh, I caught the thread. Pull this one back tight and pull this up. And I'm gonna go up through the 4 seed bead, small pearl, and another 4 seed bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull this up nice and tight, and then do the next little leg or pillar. One, 2, 3, 4, and going through the next one. We got just a few more to add on the top, and then we're gonna proceed to the bottom and do and add the fringes. Yeah, I'm not sure about the more I'm doing it, the more I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, I think we need one single crystal at the top there instead of that 4mm pearl, and then maybe we put a single crystal at the bottom. But I'm gonna do this with the pearl, and then we could do another color. Hold on, I have got a bit of a slag on that thread, so I want to make sure that's tightened up completely. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4 large pearl. Need a few more. And then 8 seed beads. Kanya saying new one, Jenny saying new one, Asher saying both look good. I think this one I will prefer for me. The other one was just a bit too naked. This one is a bit more dressed up. I like them dressing back, and I like them cover them almost completely as well. All sorts of, but we could come up with all sorts of different patterns really. Right, going in the next one. And then coming up through 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and pulling this tight, and adding the next leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the small pearl, another 1, 2, 3, 4, and going on the next stop. I think I got a little knot. And I'm actually going to take a sip of my tea. Right, pull this up nice and tight, and then go all the way to the top. And keep on going 5 along at the top. One, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. One more, 5. So we have to add 2 more. This thread is our tail end, so I want that out of the way. Don't want to get caught up with any threads. Large pearl. And 8 seed beads, then the smaller pearl, then 4 seed beads. I think perhaps if you put the larger pearl in the bottom as well, then it will sort of balance it out. Oh, come on. You were so good, thread. And like you start to show me up. There we go. Go back through. It definitely helps to do it on the bauble. I mean, it sort of holds it straight. So I think I will have a look for one of those polystyrene balls, because with that one you could actually like not stitch but pin the middle part on. I got myself in a right mess here, look. Let's just pull these through. What happened with you, thread? For some reason. There we go, that's free, so I think we should be okay. I think we are okay, just need to pull it nice and tight. Oh, it got caught. We don't want it caught. What happened here? There we go. I often I'm usually quite careful with having my thread straight, because I hate that. Like, tell me if it's not just me, it happens to when I'm just going to sort of let it spin around because I think the thread is twisted. So when you do a beadwork and you get all the way to the end and then somewhere in the middle or even at the beginning, you have got one piece of thread which is sort of wrapped around another bead or got caught on another bead. That is so, like, I don't know. And even if nobody else can see it, I know it's there. So I kind of need to go back and change it. Or hide it or do something with it so it's not visible. Right, and after this we got one more at the top, and then we will be we will be moving towards the bottom and add the fringes. Now so while I'm adding this last, or I will be adding this last pillar, if you like, or strand, how are we going to do the bottom? What sort of pattern are we going to do? I think how long do we want to do it? Do we want an inch? Do we want a couple of inches? I think what we should do is to mirror this part here and then go into a single point. I think that would look really good, but do let me know, what do you think? What shall we do at the bottom? While I'm adding this last stretch here on the top, let me know, what do you think we should do at the bottom? And the pearl, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and the small pearl, 1 2 3 4, and I'm going through here. I think, hang on, 1 2 3 4 5 6. I think we made a BB somewhere and only went to 4, or did I have an extra one on? 1 2 3 4 5. Oh, we only went through 4 there. I'm not gonna correct that. No, I'm not gonna go back, but you're gonna know. I'm gonna know if we got a boo-boo, but never mind. Right, okay, and it's all dropping off. I'm like, why have I got 6 beads at the end? Did I not count the 40 correctly? Yes, I did, but I got one section when I got one little set shorter. Oh dear, I can't count tonight. Right, what's this thread? This thread is what? This is our tail. So let me just pull this back through, get ourselves straight, because all the threads are catching up now. Right, I'm going to cut this off because we're actually not going to need that long of a tail. Get our threads straight and then get back on track. So the tail is here. Pull this back. There we go. And on you go back on the bauble. This is when you're working with so many threads. When you're working with so many threads, and then they all get tangled up. Is it only my threads which tangles up? Do let me know. Does your thread? A long fringe, Elizabeth is saying, yeah, we could do a longer one. I think if you break it up with the pearls, that will be good. Right, so come here now. I am just gonna, this is the tail. So pull this through and get this out of the way on the other side. So we can get to this side nicely. Right, pull this on, nice and tight. There we go. So going back through 1, 2, 3, 4, the pearl and another 4 seed bead. This tail is back. The tail is back. The tail is coming back. And I'm going to pick up another 4 seed bead, a small pearl for the last time, and another 4 seed bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go to the top of this. And then pull this out. And I'm going to go up to the top because I still need to create the thread path there. Sort of finish it. And I can either use a thread at the bottom. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to go along one bead where my tail end is, and I'm going to knot my working end and the tail end together, so I have a little knot there, so it's definitely not going to slip. And then we can decide which thread. I think the fringe is going to take quite a bit of thread as well, so we might have to use both. So I'm not going to trim it off at this point. I'm just going to knot it. Oh no, hang on. Hang on. Need to go through this bead, so they're right next to each other. There we go. That's better. I just put the little scoop underneath it so it doesn't roll around. Right. Oh, my dog Meg just want to say hi. What type of dog do you have? And I'm just gonna knot this. Maybe crystal drops at the bottom. I haven't got crystal drops. I got larger bicones in the same color, or I have got pearl drops. And let's try the pearl drops, and then we can try crystals as well. We can incorporate the two. I do think this one perhaps should have been a crystal, but we will add that larger 4mm pearl in the bottom as well, and then when you have it, you see at the bottom and top, it might just sort of balances out. Right, and I'm gonna go down, and I want to get to the tip of my unit. So I'm going to follow any thread path created previously to get to that bead. Chocolate Sparser Spaniel, she's 6. Ah, they're so nice. Little Roxy made a friend with her. There was a chocolate spaniel down at the beach as well. He was 9 months old, and they played so nicely together. Roxy was a tiny bit bigger than him, but they just played so nicely. They were just running about so freely. They were really, really cute. Right, I'm getting to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, it doesn't matter if you're going to go around clockwise or anti-clockwise, as long you will keep going the same way. So into the seed bead, then the crystal. I might have to take this off just for a sec so I can hold that crystal in my hand. And I'm gonna get to the bottom of this unit. And my thread is saying no. There we go. Went through that one. Then we're going to the crystal. Come on, thread. And then just got a knot. I did not want this knot. Right, the thread is definitely twisted. So I'm gonna untwist it the other way. So there we go. And then just separate the two ends. And then I'm just holding my nail on the thread and I'm gonna start pulling. And then the twists sort of go down and down towards the needle. And then it starts to twist around. I'm just gonna repeat the same one more time, because that's why your thread knots most of the time if it's twisted. So going around again and then down into this unit. Now I'm going to put it back on the bauble so we can kind of gauge how long do we want this fringe. Right, so there we go. I'm just going to push this on. Right, how long? Oh, I was like, well, I'm going to hold it up for you. How long do we want this fringe? I think if we have about that much, do I have a ruler here? Yes, I do. I do have a ruler. So the top part, if I measure it in inches, is about an inch, just under an inch and a half. So the bottom part is kind of, I think, has to match at least the same. We could do it shorter, we could do it longer, but I think symmetry wise is sometimes quite nice when they kind of like the same size, or you exaggerate it and then the bottom part is double the size or half the size. So it could be any size, but I think let's aim to do like the same sort of inch and a half at the bottom as well. So as I'm coming out of this unit, and I'm going to sit this in there, we need to pick up a pattern. So if we start off the same way as we did before, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up 4 seed bead small pearl, I'm going to pick up 4 seed bead crystal, 4 seed bead large pearl, 4 seed bead, and then the little drop itself. So I think kind of like breaking up the pattern. I just need some more seed beads. Hang on, there we go. Not seed beads, crystals. If you break up the pattern, I think it will be easier to count the seed beads, and we can kind of like go quicker because you don't need to constantly keep going back and checking yourself. So I think that will be sort of a nice graduated pattern. So if I start for 1, 2, 3, 4, then a small pearl, then another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the, oh no, then if I, no, but yeah, no, I'm confusing myself. I'm going that way, yes, yeah, okay. And the crystal, then another 4 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, then a large pearl, then another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then the pearl. I'm going to go from the thinner side to the thicker side on the drop. Take this down because I'll show you what I wanted to do. So I'm going to come back up. I think that's about long enough. If I show you from the side, I think that's going to be about long enough. So I'm going to come back up through the pearl, the seed beads. I want to come back and come through the crystal, and maybe we put the crystal there actually on the top. And then I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, a small pearl, another 4 seed bead, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go to the next unit. So you don't have to go up into the units, because that would be like sort of slower. Can't keep trying to go around the units, but kind of sort of jump from one unit to another. And then with this way, we kind of mirroring what we did on the top to the bottom as well. So I'm just going to go along and do the same pattern. So 4 seed beads. If we do a few more, we will really see how is it all going to shape together. Angela's saying, hi Kitty, keeps forgetting it's Wednesday. It's looking good. It is Wednesday, all day Wednesday. Although today, this morning, I thought it was Tuesday. And then I came down. And the end's like, oh, it's Wednesday. All day it's Wednesday. I always forget what day of the week is. But it's so bizarre because I knew that I had to do the live today. Like I woke up this morning and washed my hair and got ready. So I knew I had to do live, and I came down, I thought it was Tuesday. Oh, David is saying, I know what it's like with the threads. It's happened to me. And I missed the large pearl. So let's go back. One, two, three, 4. How are you doing with the Christmas shopping? Do let me know because I haven't really quite started yet. I'm hoping to get out this weekend as well. I only want to get a few bits. I haven't ordered any food either, and I don't even know what's the last day. Maybe it's already gone where you can order food, so I might just have to go on Christmas Eve in the morning or on the 23rd and get everything. There we go, and I'm going to the next one. Just like that. I think this pull ball is a little bit either tighter. Let's get the tail out. So what do we think so far? I think it's going to look quite pretty, but you're only going to really see it if I turn. Let me just come to the main. I'm really going to see it like, I quite like it. I think it looks nice. And actually, if we add the crystal in here at the top as well, I think it's going to completely mirror the bottom, but just going into the jobs. Oh, Tracy saying, all done and wrapped. Oh, bless you. Well done. I'm very jealous. So I want to be all done. Right, I'm going to add a few more and then see how it's shaping. And then I will finish this off for next week so I can show it to you in real life. But I put some colors together on Friday when I'm in the warehouse. I don't even know. I haven't got the diary in front of me what I'm supposed to do for live next week on Wednesday. I know there is something planned in. So Leanne's here. It's like, Leanne, what am I doing? But I might be able to swap it. I might be able to push it and then do work it out and put the colors and put the kits together. I have to see. Food ordered, presents nearly finished, though not yet wrapped. That's my Christmas Eve job. We don't know. Our colleague breakfast on Christmas Eve. Oh yeah, I remember those nights all too well. But I usually I make the red cabbage, and I make it how my grandmother used to make it. So that's what I do on Christmas Eve. Is doing the red cabbage. It takes quite like almost a couple of hours to cook it properly. And then going to the next one. Right, what do we think of this? I think it's gonna look I think I'm losing the plot here. Now, like, the camera's on me and you could even see what I'm doing. I think that looks rather nice. It needs a little bit more tweaking, but I have a little play with it this week. Definitely, I think worth to. I like this sort of eaves going on, and that top is mirroring the bottom. I think that looks quite good as well. However, I do think we either need to add a crystal in here in the top part. It needs a crystal. What do you think? Do we need a crystal at the top here? I think it would look nice. Just sort of incorporating in it, because otherwise it's better than this one because it's more covered, but it's still very plain. So I think we need something something there. And actually, the other thing is we got 16 here, but it's kind of a little bit tight on the bauble. So I'm going to have a little think how I can make this part just a tiny bit bigger, but not too much bigger, so it fits on better. Maybe we need to add an extra seed bead in between or something. Or maybe do a little pearl in somewhere in every two or something to make it a tiny bit bigger as well. I will have a little play with this. Oops, it's rolling around. I will have a little play, but I do think it's already. Let me just show you with the 3 fringes. I'm gonna have to go because Roxy haven't had her dinner yet, but I think it's already looking quite good. But it definitely need a bit more flexibility. With this is the band is a little bit too tight. You don't want it too sort of loose either, but I do feel it's a little bit too tight, or perhaps we need a different thread path, so we have got something kind of not the same way linking together. But let me go put it in front of my face so it's focused on that and not on my face. So something I will come up with something, but I think it's going to look really good once it's done together. But definitely need a crystal in here, I think. Yes, the crystal. What about one long fringe, then one short one? Yes, to the crystal. Yeah, you could do all sorts of different variations. So there's no right or wrong here. You really do whatever you feel that works for you. And to be honest, I think the more different variations you do, the more unique it is as well. And no two people are gonna have the same variations as you got. So I do think it's really it's worth a play with it. Looks amazing. The fringe is cool. Yeah, I have a little play with this tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? Yeah, I can do this tomorrow and then choose some colorways Friday at the warehouse, because I just picked up these beads and I picked up the white ones as well. But I think it would be really good. We could pop something together. I still think a crystal drop at the bottom would be nice. I know you don't have any there. No, I haven't got any with me. I have a look. We could have used this, the bicones, the large bicones, but I don't think it would have been the same. Maybe I can have a little play with it. Maybe you could use both. You could use a bicone and underneath the pearl drop as well. I just think sometimes it's nice to use pearls and crystals together, sometimes just crystals as well. So Ruth is saying I like them both. Chris at the top, Michelle saying as well. Right, okay, lovelies. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go and feed this little one. She's just laying down there, bless her. She was so good today. I went into Zoom for the Bead Club, and I just turned it on like 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before the class started, and she was so good by herself. Went into her crate and laid down, so she heard the ladies talking, and she knew what she has to do, because I have to kind of sort of shut her in there because I don't want her to get to any of the cables or chew anything, and for her own safety as well. Everybody have a beautiful week. We only got one more week, I think, and then we got the holiday club. I'm really, really looking forward to that one. It will be so good. I'm so looking forward to kind of like put faces to all these names what we see on the lives. I think it's going to be good. Right, my lovelies. Thank you for the great night, everybody. And Elizabeth is saying as well. Everybody stay safe. Hopefully I will have some Christmas decoration on by next week here. I need to go and get a small tree. I did get one last year. I got a real one, but unfortunately didn't make it into this year. I put it out in the garden and I kept on watering it, but I think because we had the really hot summer, it just sort of killed it, unfortunately. Right, so I need to go and get a new one. Right, everybody, have a beautiful week, and I will see you next Wednesday morning on Totally, or in the Bead Club, or next Wednesday night. I will be back here, and then after that it will be holiday cup, and we'll be on Christmas holidays. Everybody, have a good weekend, good week, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for turning up. I love you all. It's so nice that you come and support me. Thank you, and I see you next week. Bye.